Hey guys, so today I have swatches of the ILNP Fright Night collection. This is the Halloween collection for this year. So there are 6 polishes altogether. These launched yesterday, October 6th. ILNP usually does a pre-order with a pre-order discount for new collections. These ones are not on a pre-order, they're just straight up available now, but they do still have the $1 per bottle discount. So if you're interested in these, it is going to be a little bit cheaper to get them now rather than later. I'm not sure exactly how long the discount will last. Usually it's about a week, but I also never get the videos done in the first week after launch, so I'm a little ahead of myself this time around, and they are still available at a discount. So I will link the ILNP website down below where you guys can check these out, and I will get into the swatches. So first off, these are the boxes that the standard ILNP polish comes in. They do have a slightly different box for their cream polishes, their studio color line, but the regular ILNP polishes come in this box. The first polish is called Flicker, and this is described as a light gray polish with glowing orange to yellow iridescent shimmer. So this is kind of a jelly, crelly base, so it is pretty sheer on the first coat. The shimmer is nice and strong though, and it does go on very evenly. I really like the contrast between the base color and the shimmer here. It actually covered pretty well for me in the second coat. I was surprised at how much this built up. If I looked closely, I could still see some nail line, but my nails are pretty short, so I didn't find it so egregious that I needed to do a third coat. I was happy with how this looked in 2 coats, so I just left it. So that is 2 coats of Flicker. The next polish is called Frankie, and this is described as a monster green with lime green magnetic pigment and scattered holographic microflakies. Good formula on this, pretty decently opaque and a very strong magnetic pull, and those micro holographic flakies help to fill in that space where it's not magnetized. This covered completely for me in 2 coats, and again, really nice, strong magnetic effect. And always remember, when you're using magnetic polishes, to re-magnetize your nail after you put your top coat on, because that top coat is going to melt that polish a little bit and can make that line disperse unless you pull it back with the magnet. So that is 2 coats of Frankie. The next polish is called Carved, and this is described as an intense orange with fiery orange, yellow sparkle and shimmer. This is so sparkly and so shimmery. It's so cool. It's a little bit sheer. It isn't a very jelly base, but there's so much of that shimmer and sparkle in there that it does lend some opacity to it. Even though it was a little bit sheer on the first coat, it still built up fine and covered completely for me in 2, and again, it's so shiny. So that is 2 coats of Carved. The next polish is called Bitten, and this is described as a deep blood red shimmer with red to gold iridescent flakes and subtle holographic sparkle. So this is a deep red jelly base, that's how they described it. It is a little bit uneven on that first coat for me, but not terrible. The flakies and holographic sparkle that are in here are pretty sparse, so they don't really add much as far as coverage goes. The second coat is where you really start to see what this polish can do. Once the base gets a little bit deeper and you get multiple layers of base and flakies sandwiched in between each other, they really start to glow and give a really cool multi-dimensional effect. I ended up adding a third coat here just because I wanted to see that base get a little bit darker, and that covered completely for me. So that is 3 coats of Bitten. The next polish is called Abracadabra, and this is described as a deep indigo with blue to purple shimmer and a pinch of gold metallic flakies. This was very opaque on the first coat. Those gold flakies that are in there actually stand out really nicely. They contrast very well against that base color. Although I did call them silver in my notes because I hadn't read the polish description yet, so they might be a little bit small to really tell that they're very obviously gold. Or I'm just not very good at this, one or the other. So this built up completely for me in 2 coats, which wasn't a surprise because it was so opaque on the first coat. So that is 2 coats of Abracadabra. And the last polish is called Shapeshifter, and this is described as a chocolate brown accented with reflective metallic flakes and subtle holographic sparkle. Great formula. It's a jelly base, but it's a pretty opaque jelly. Those flakies that are in there stand out really nicely. I love the base color of this. It's a bit more of a reddy brown, and it reminds me actually a lot of the Wall Masters from the Forest Temple at Ocarina of Time that were like that reddish brown shade. It's creepy and I love it. This covered completely for me in 2 coats, and again, those flakies stand out really nicely against that deep base. So that is 2 coats of Shapeshifter. So I have 2 favorites here. I love Carved because it's so sparkly and so bright and just like looks like it's on fire. It's just your very obvious take on a Halloween pumpkin orange, and I really, really liked it. but I also love Shapeshifter. I was so surprised at that base color. I didn't really pick up on that from looking at it in the bottle, and it's just such a cool shade of warm reddish brown, and the little copper flakies that are in there contrast so well. This was a very surprise favorite for me. So that is the ILNP Fright Night collection for Halloween 2023. Again, I will link the ILNP website down below because those are available right now and at a slight discount, like $1 a bottle. So hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later.